the August 15th to call the meeting to order. First item, public comment. Do we have any public that wishes to join? Just raise your hand and Bill will try to let you in. You see any hand raised?
No hands raised, one person from the public.
Okay, good. Okay, moving on. We're flying now. We have a quorum, right? I say everyone's here. Yep.
Thank you. I agree.
Okay, good. So moving on to item 3, review of construction manager's RFP. I believe that was maybe I assume everyone got a chance to see it, but
Minutes.
Adam, if you want to bring us a summary, it was in the package.
Graham, meeting minutes first.
Oh, okay. Oh, I missed I'm looking at the agenda. Sorry. Meeting minutes.
Hey, can I ask a question here? Are you guys getting the feedback?
No,
You're not getting feedback? All right.
No, the audio's good.
so minutes of meeting. So I call the, I think the minutes for the last meeting was sent out 8/8. Assume everyone had a chance to read it.
Yep.
Would anyone like to make a motion depending on discussion?
I'll move to approve the minutes.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Nope, they look good.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Good to stay on top of those minutes, as we know from other projects.
We also have the 8/1 August 1st minutes that were in there because we had some
Oh,
interviews.
okay.
So we got
Yeah.
those as well.
Okay. Would anyone like a motion for the 8/1 minutes?
Certainly, I'll make that we approve those minutes subject to discussions.
Got it. Bill, if you secondly make it easy for Bill to keep the, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. You got that, Bill? I assume you're covering the minutes? Are you gonna just videotape?
I got it.
Okay, good. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Now we're moving on to review of construction manager's RFP. So with that said, then maybe Adam, if you kind of give us a little update where we stand.
Will do. Let me share my screen here, just so we have something to look at. So good evening, everyone. So I had sent out the construction manager draft RFP as part of your meeting packet. It includes the main 20-page substantive document, as well as a bunch of addendum similar to what we had for the architect RFP. The AIA contracts that were appendices C and D are working through the legal review with the attorneys and whatnot, but the main focus is on the actual RFP document. So the only item that has come up since I issued it was just an additional emphasis on the construction manager that the demolition of the Ryerson School is part of the project. So just a sentence as part of the description of the project saying, Ryerson is going to be included, demolition of Ryerson is included, and then as part of the CM scope of services during construction, in addition to actually demolishing the thing, coordinating with the hazardous materials consultant, the architect, and the school, obviously. So other than that, it's basically, this is slated to go out tomorrow, presuming there are no issues or concerns with the committee. If you have anything you have concern with or feel like you might want to add, you can bring it up here and we can certainly add it into the main body of the document. But that's sort of where we stand insofar as documentation is concerned. In terms of overall schedule, it would be, I'll bring up the calendar schedule here. Target to issue it tomorrow. We'd give a little 15-minute, 20-minute discussion with the, not really discussion, but an info session with the 4 shortlisted firms, just to give them some of the high-level points, similar to what we did with the architect firms, to make sure they have a good understanding of what the RFP entails, what's in, what's out, that kind of thing. Proposals would be due September 1st. So I'll give them 2.5 weeks ish. We would then have the CM interviews the 7th and the 12th, as we discussed at a prior school SBC meeting. And then we would go into negotiations, ideally make an award here on the 12th if the committee is comfortable and ready, and then get the CM rocking and rolling here before the end of September, which would give good overlap with the schematic design documents, which would be finishing up in October. So that'll give them time to get on board, get their feet wet, start looking at the documents, and then head into October and ultimately the estimating phase, which is really the first big lift for the construction manager once they're on board. So the ask for the committee tonight is if there are any questions or proposed amendments, additions, et cetera, to the construction manager RFP document.
Adam, this is Woody. I thought the document was terrific. I saw only two little minor things. Under E for early phase studies, you used geothermal as opposed to geo exchange that you used everywhere else. I commend you for all the geo exchanges. Almost couldn't bring myself to mention it, but I decided I would.
And then details, so hit me with it.
and then under 6F, you have the word lease, and I thought it should be lead.
6F.
Yeah.
Zoom to that real quick. Pardon my scrolling. Do you have a page number on that, Woody?
I'll get it. Now I've lost it, but I'll get it. I'm sorry. Oh, under reconstruction services per A133 on page 9, go down to page 10, and then you'll see 6, bid process coordination. And it
Yeah, that
says
should be.
coordinate and lease subcontractor, and I thought it was supposed to be lead.
Yep, good catch. That's lead.
It's just super trivial, but
Nope.
might as well do
Clarity
it
is
right.
important. Yep. All right.
That's
no problem.
it. Great document. I mean, I really appreciate all the inclusion of the areas that I'm concerned with. I appreciate that a lot.
Woody, I didn't know you were a lawyer also in your earlier life. That's
As much as I could be.
you're a discount attorney. I know. I practiced that many times. I got a half price attorney.
Yep.
Does anyone else on the committee have any thoughts or comments? It's hard to top Woody judicious review, but anyone else have anything else they want to add? I think we're good. So I guess we probably should take a motion to forward this to the to put it out.
Yeah, that'd be best.
Okay. I don't know if you want to add contingent on final review by staff attorney. I mean, you could also issue an addendum anyway. I don't know if we want to condition that or just.
What I would do is I would issue the RFP document and all appendices with the exception of the 2 AA documents and make that notation. And then once those are finalized with the attorney and then the town insurance requirements, then I'll just send that out. So those are basically pro forma based on what the town input from legal and risk management staff are. So if you're comfortable, you can just make the motion to issue the RFP and subject to town comments, and then that'll be good enough.
Yeah, okay. Would anyone like to make a motion to that effect?
I'll make the motion.
Do we have any seconds?
Second?
Any discussion?
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous for your keeping track at home, Bill.
I missed it. Who made the motion?
Sharon and Woody
Sharon
second.
did.
Thank you.
I got you, Bill.
You can always watch it on videotape. I'm sure you're
I'm
gonna
trying to
put,
figure out the YouTube. I think I messed that up, but oh well.
it says recording.
It says recording, Bill.
Okay, I believe you.
You could do this for a living, Bill. I think,
Happen.
I think the academy may need to bring you on board. Yeah.
No, I can stop promoting you.
Okay. Okay, item number 4, which is actually 5, I guess. Review and approve of project invoices. That was in
Yes.
the package, so go ahead, Adam, you wanna?
Yep, so I'll share my screen again here. So again, nothing too controversial for the first number of invoice packets. So this is for the 2 months prior, and then the July bill for Colliers for our owner's project management services. And then the 2 from Hearst Media were for the newspaper advertisements for the RFP and RFQs for the construction manager and the commissioning agent. So a grand total of $18,413.28. And there's a draft motion in your committee packets.
I did like that you had the motion. Are you gonna do that for the architect's bills too, or is that just for Collier's bill? You're gonna give us a draft motion?
I'll make Jeff do it himself. No, we bake it in and you'll have all the invoices in this nice tidy packet each time.
Got it. Do we have any comments or everyone had a chance to review it, hopefully? Would anyone like to make a motion? In that well-worded motion that was in the package?
Sure, I can repeat this. Motion to approve monthly invoice packet dated 8/15/2022, including invoices from Colliers Project Leaders and Hearst Media for a total approval of $18,413.28.
Do we have a second?
Second.
That was George. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Another unanimous one for you, Bill? Beautiful. Moving on to number 5/6, public comment. I don't believe we have any more public comment. Any more?
We have 2 people in. I don't see any hands up.
Okay,
Give them a second, make sure they know that we're on public comment.
yep,
I see no hands up.
okay. No Board of Ed, no Finance, no
Well,
Select.
Seth is here, but
Okay,
I assume that he'd put his hand up if he wanted to speak.
okay. Well, just give him the effort, making sure. Got it. Okay, moving on to 6 remarks, and I see that our crack architectural team's here, so if they have some updates they'd want to share with us, that would be great at this point.
Sure. Good evening, everybody. Jeff Wazinski, principal at Tecton Architects. We have Justin Hopkins, the project manager, on the line, as well as Antonia Sciavarella. And that's easy for me to say. I have a very brief presentation update, and let me just swap this around. So you should see a full screen.
We
Yep.
do?
Okay, great. So just what I wanted to do is put together, several items as far as a activity update. And for work completed and work in progress, a lot of it obviously is work in progress, but we issued a draft milestone schedule with target design phase completions, workshops, community conversations, and land use approvals. I know Adam circulated that, I think it was about a week or 2 ago, to the entire committee. As time goes on and as the weeks go on, we're refining the final dates for some of the larger, community workshops. So once it sounds like we have some of those locked down, we have to confirm a few more dates. As soon as we have those, we'll create a publication that identifies the various different community conversations or public outreach items. The work in progress, so we've had crews out on the site and surveying the street. The data collection is going well. We have some preliminary mapping that Banish has provided to us, so that that'll help us with our as we refine the conceptual design options. We're looking to get basically a more detailed preliminary map at the week of the 8/22, and then a final A2 T2 in early September. So everything's going according to plan there. The wetlands flagging will most likely happen this week. The gentleman that was planning to do it had some personal issues last week, but plans to get out there this week to do that. So once those are flagged, those will be incorporated into the survey. On 7/28, there was a few different discussions related to preliminary layouts and sanitary calculations for the on-site septic. And we began some preliminary coordination with DEEP. The long and short of this line item is that we're proceeding as if it is a DEEP approval process. And Benish Civil Engineers is working with Nathan Jacobson to complete some calculations related to the nitrogen dilution analysis so that they can have some further conversations with DEEP. So everything's on its way there. On 8/11, we had, and I believe Justin, our civil engineer, Justin Hopkins, our project manager, and then our civil engineer, Benish, had a virtual meeting to review possible mapping for the land trust with the town planner. So what we agreed to is having a follow-up meeting somewhere in the week of 8/31, again with the town planner, just to make sure that we understand the locations of this possible area, and then schedule a meeting on 9/5 or the week of 9/5 to review and present that plan. Other updates. So our team internally took a pretty deep dive into the review and analysis of the educational specifications, which were part of your grant application, but also part of the RFP. We've created basically a 4-page document of clarification questions that we circulated to Adam. Adam is working to kind of pick off the low-hanging fruit, and then we're circle back with district leadership to answer any of the other open questions. We had at that same meeting, our progress meetings with the district, we identified teacher liaisons, the superintendent did, and he subsequently sent over the contact information so that we can get a coordination kickoff meeting with those folks. And the idea there is to have a couple liaisons that represent basically the interest across the district from a teacher perspective. This doesn't alleviate any of the other additional meetings that we'll have with the school principals, faculty and staff, but it's just a conduit to kind of streamline the communications and participation in the design phase. As soon as we lock down the final dates for the major, we'll call them public forums or community conversations, we plan on creating a kind of an informational flyer, so to describe kind of the process and where you can participate, how you can participate, and what the topics of the conversations will be. So once we have that, we'll circulate that obviously to Adam and then to the committee at large so that you guys can review it. And we are in draft form, and this is what I sent over, I think earlier today or earlier this afternoon. We've created there was a few questions, I think it was from a committee member, but also during our conversations with the school, wanted to talk about how we can engage the students in the process. So we've drafted what we call a student activity workbook. It's kind of in draft form, and the idea here is it's kind of a very simple booklet where students can either circle pictures, they can cut pictures out, paste them to this handout, they can draw sketches, they can write what they do and don't like about the current environment that they're in. So it's really a means to start that dialogue and engage the students in the process. And I can certainly open up that PDF and go over it in more detail if you'd like. So as a part of the analysis of the EdSpec, this is your program on the left-hand side. And what we're doing kind of behind the scenes is kind of organizing all of our information and color coding it so that when you see color floor plans, the color floor plans are going to coordinate to the program so that you can kind of cross, all the information is very consistent. And so that's what these charts are. And on the right side is we started plugging in basically an adjacency matrix, which is pretty well defined in the ed spec, but we're certainly going to have, as things go along, we're going to have more detailed questions as to what needs to be next to what as far as the layout of the building. So we have a pretty, I know it's hard to see in this screen, but we have a lot of detailed information in the ed spec, and this is just a kind of a cheat sheet, if you will, for us to use as we move through the planning. This site plan is more of a site graphic plan, and it was intended to really start overlaying some of the feedback we heard almost immediately from our interview, as far as and then coordination with the planner and zoning on certain setbacks, like the 100-foot setback, which is shown in the blue. There's obviously, and I'm sure you're all aware of all the various different setbacks to the east of the site, but the 500-year flame, the 500-year floodplain, the 100-year, the floodway, and then the upland review area. What we've added to that is, if you remember conceptually, we had shown a couple different areas for where the septic could occur on site. After some of these preliminary conversations and analysis, Benish did just a very basic, obviously I diagrammed it on this plan, but they created a plan with some calculations to have those preliminary conversations with DEEP as far as the proposed layout of the leaching field. So that, in summary, is all of the activities that we've been working on. Not a lot of it has been conceptual design, but really a lot to prepare us in order to jump into refining the conceptual design. And I guess at this time, we didn't have an opportunity between our interview and basically tonight to hear any other additional feedback as we move through developing. We're going to develop several different conceptual design options and show you those on plan and on building plan, but also on site plan. And we'd love to hear any comments that are initial reactions you had to the site, which of course we've already heard some of those, but also the building layout as well. So we've got some good feedback initially from the superintendent. We've been, as you know, been working with the Brown Intermediate School and some of the modifications there with the 3 principals, which have also come in handy as far as some, modifications to the plan to kind of make the building a little bit more efficient. But of course, again, like to hear any more input that you may have to offer tonight. And that's really our update in a nutshell.
Great, thanks, Jeff. That was very helpful. You guys have been doing a lot of work, obviously. Appreciate your effort. I'll probably put you on the agenda. We should probably have an item for you on the agenda, maybe like an architect's update, maybe earlier in the meeting, or right after some of the votes or whatever. We'll work that out, but I appreciate the update. Do the members have any comments, questions? Maybe you want to leave the last slide up.
Sure.
Yeah, just if people want to, or the one before that, whichever. I think that, yeah. Or maybe the one before.
Let's see, let me go back. Sorry.
Yeah, I think
The site plan or the?
yeah, maybe the site plan. Yeah, yeah.
This guy.
Yeah, this because it's the one that the members had seen before. So
Sure. Yep.
and like you said, you at the time you said this was just a conceptual, and this is by no means the last chance there. The building committee have an input, and it's a work in progress. But it's great. The more input you get, the sooner the better for you, obviously. So
Absolutely. Yep.
so I would ask do any members have any thoughts right now, or in the future? Obviously, you'll have plenty of opportunity to input. And you actually get to vote on the plans as we move forward by stage. So this is by no means your last chance.
I want to just about the conceptual design you showed us
Sure.
during your interview. One, the plan was, I thought, wonderful. I think that was what won it for you. We all really like that. Just from the conceptual, I remember you showed us an elevation or a perspective of the outside, if I recall.
Yep. Yeah.
And my only gripe with that, which I'd like to throw out there now before you go too far,
Sure.
really hated the entrance canopies.
Okay.
That
Yep.
backwards angle. One, I
Okay.
think it's a really tricky thing to design and run water and snow off of.
Sure.
And I don't think it's the right look for our town. That's all. That was the only thing that bothered me about everything you presented that night.
No.
And I know it's like really early, but just, you know,
That's
if you
great
keep them in there, I'll
feedback.
bitch about
Yep.
it. So,
Yep. No, that's exactly what we want to hear. We want to hear the
so,
reactions.
other than
Yep.
that, I really liked it. I would almost just do a pitched roof canopy coming out instead of a, you know, something a little bit more that mimics the pitch roof in the back that's
Sure.
raised up in the center. I mean, I love that. I think the whole concept was great. So,
Okay, great.
But-
Thank you.
thank you. I'll shut up now.
Do any of the other members have any thoughts, comments, or reserve your right to comment later?
Mhm.
Okay, great. Well,
I think.
I know we're at, you know, the first step, or not even really at the first step, but I appreciate any comments, and certainly cycle them through Adam if anything comes to mind. We'll, as the conduit, and we're looking forward to starting to refine this over the next couple of weeks here. So
Good. Looks like you're making it more efficient. Looks like yeah.
really, you know, obviously first shot out of the box, it's not as tight as you like it to be, and then you find some efficiencies or say, oh, if you flip that or do this. One of the comments that we received from the superintendent was just to make sure that the community spaces like the gym, the CAF, the media center are accessible and for evening functions, or separable from the remainder portion of the school, which is, you know, something we always like to do in our schools, because they are such a community oriented building. So, but it was a good comment to make sure that we keep that in the front of our mind. So great. Thank you.
Anyone else? Yeah, great. Nice job, Jeff. Woody, usually good for something, but for some comment, but
Graham.
Yeah.
Seth has his hand raised. Can I promote him to a panelist?
Yeah. Yes.
I didn't see him, so when he comes, I'll have to apologize. I wasn't paying attention.
Okay. Did he miss the second public comment period?
I don't know.
Give
I
him a
just
pass.
promoted him. Uh-oh,
Okay.
he left. Oh, no, there he is.
Yeah.
Seth, can you hear us? You see him, right?
Sorry, I was muted.
Seth, if
yeah,
you get delayed on the noticing your hand, I apologize.
That's okay. And then I just realized that I was able to enter my question in the Q&A section. So I did that. So I'll repeat it out loud since you already promoted me. Sorry. In one of the conceptual design shots on the slide presentation, it appeared, maybe I saw it wrong, but it appeared to me that maybe the gym was immediately adjacent to the library and media center. Is that the case? And if so, would there be sound baffling, or would you consider moving it, or somehow making sure that it wouldn't intrude on the sound from the gym, wouldn't intrude on the quiet library time?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And yes, the answer is yes. We did show one of the concepts, and the idea was the media would be on kind of one level, and then the gym floor would be on another level. So there would be a level of separation. And then the construction of the walls would be what they call STC rated, as required for high performance building standards. So we need to meet basically minimum thresholds to prevent sound intrusion from space to space. But it's a good observation. We're not quite sure we really like that adjacency. We like the opportunities for seeing transparency between the two spaces, but it will likely have some kind of buffer space, like the storage or maybe some toilets or something to provide that noise buffer between the two spaces. So yeah, no, that's a good question. Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Sure.
You all set, Seth?
Yeah, and I would just remind one more time that the Board of Ed and the district would be happy to share information in the, Backpack Express and other forums to advertise the public input forums that are coming up.
Excellent. Okay, do any of the other committee members have any comments on Jeff's presentation or any other comments in general or remarks?
I agree with you. It was very informative. I liked where we're going, but I don't have any comments on the plan yet.
You didn't check the mechanical room size? You didn't,
Nope. I'm leaving that up to Craig.
We haven't fought that one out yet, so we'll get there eventually. That's always a fun one.
yeah, what do you
That's
like?
why that's why we have to make sure we don't over design that system. That keep it smaller, less tonnage, more efficient.
Agreed.
Graham, if I might.
Yep. go ahead.
So just two quick items. One, just to reiterate, the next time this committee is scheduled to meet is not until September 7th, which is right after the Labor Day holiday. And so we'll be diving right into CM interviews that session in coordination with Graham. The plan is to do the same thing we did for the architectural interviews in the reverse alphabetical order. So the targets would be Newfield and ONG on the 7th, and Dimeo and Gilbane on the 12th. I was planning to put together that little interview sheet for the CM firm, similar to what happened with the architectural firms, because both of those meetings are scheduled to be in person. So it gives you something to write notes down on. So just wanted to keep that in mind, and that when the RFP responses come in on Thursday, September 1st, note that the next time we meet, there'll be a lot of looking at, a lot of documents to go through and looking at the fees and all that. So just wanted to put that in the committee members' heads. And then also, just as a minor update from today, BVH did come back with some positive news about their contract and negotiation. So it looks like that will be resolved and in accordance with the motion made at the last meeting to award to BVH for that reduced fee by like $20,000. So good news there.
Great, nice, good work. And I'm sure Woody was in the mix somewhere there too. So thanks. Got it. All set, Adam?
Yep, that's it for me.
Okay. Anyone else have any remarks? I guess with that, we're setting after our long meeting last time. I guess we can have a short meeting this time. It is summertime in August. We'll get longer meetings to come, I'm sure.
The next one.
Yes. Those are-
Between Bill and me, we try to keep them fast moving.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Okay, well, I guess anyone make a motion to adjourn?
Gee.
Okay.
I'll
ready?
do it.
Fine, I'll
Okay.
do it. Oh, Sharon, you do it. I did. so
I'll
many.
do it.
There you
Get
go.
out of here. I make.
Okay.
So 5, I got it.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thanks, everybody. Nice job.
Yep.
Have a good night.
Yep, take care all.
See you this evening. Take care. Bye-bye.
Right.
Bill, you're a whiz at this stuff.
No, I'm not happy. I'm trying to figure it out. I couldn't figure out why there was a bunch of feedback and you guys weren't hearing it, but I was. So, I gotta turn it off, right?
Yeah, I think we're good, right?
I don't know. Let's see. You are sure you want to stop recording? Yes, stop recording.
Yeah, that worked.
How do I shut off YouTube?
I think I think it stopped. It's not saying it's recording.
Yeah, I guess when you stop recording, you're off. It says live though, but whatever. We're good.
Well, if we have to, we'll go back and do the same thing over again, just so we get on YouTube. If for you, I
No.
think-
I'm all right. Hey, have a great night. I don't want to, in case we're on YouTube, we don't want to say much.
Yeah,
Have a
exactly.
great night.
Okay, take
Talk to
care.
you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.